toward the end of the season will be big time for them. Because if they're clicking and have the chemistry, it doesn't matter who they're playing, where they're seated, or what city they're playing in. So tonight, I don't know if we're going to learn a darn thing. Kevin Durant, we hope plays, but it's the second night of a back-to-back. Nets have been sitting guys out. Kyrie Irving, we hope plays, because if he doesn't, the Nets might not have a point guard. Chris Chiozza got hurt yesterday. Tyler Johnson is out. James Harden is out. Maybe LaMarcus Aldridge will play. He's not a point guard, but he might play. It's just the Nets don't look like they're going to have anything close to a full complement of players. So, unfortunately, we're probably not going to learn anything.
Well, yeah, you can't expect the Nets to be able to compete if Chris Chiozza's not playing. I put a huge asterisk on this game now that I hear that. Let's assume Kyrie and KD are going to play. Well, that's just the one I heard. Let's assume Kyrie and KD are going to play. I expect Philly to win. I do think this is a massive game because I think the winner of this game is going to end up getting the 1 seed. And the 1 seed means you don't play Milwaukee in round 2, and I think that matters. And I also think, Brandon, 2 guys that are going for the 2 most prestigious regular season awards are going to make a statement tonight. Ben Simmons is going to try to make a Defensive Player of the Year statement in guarding Kevin Durant. And Joel Embiid is going to try to make an MVP statement saying, well, Joel Embiid, this part I think you agree he probably can do. If Andre Drummond can give you 20 and 10, what can Joel Embiid do against the Nets' non-existent front line? So I think Philly wins a big game, and I think Embiid and Simmons both have individual, accolades that they're kind of shooting for in this game, Brandon.
Yeah, another guy who's going to make a big statement is that guy right there, number 7, Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant, he reads everything. Did we forget about that? He's on Twitter. He's on Instagram, DMing Michael Rappaport. You don't think he heard Ben Simmons' comments talking about, they got to play defense. There's 1 ball, et cetera, et cetera. So he's going to go out there and make a statement. He'll probably drop 40. But unfortunately, it's going to mean nothing because we don't know if Kyrie's going to play. James Harden isn't going to play. And Chris already told you everybody else who may or may not play. So look, this means nothing. And unfortunately, it would have been a big game to watch. It still is going to be fun to watch. But it's, both teams full strength. This would have been a game of the year. But they already beat Utah, the 76ers, Miami, the Clippers, the Lakers. You go on and on. They beat the best teams. This team just needs to get healthy and get ready for the playoffs, Wilds. Yeah, they lost to the 76ers one time.
The Lakers.
Yeah, we did.
And the Lakers. And the Lakers. Just the other night.
Come on, you're going to count that game? Are you going to count that game? Are you going to count that game?
I didn't recognize.
No Kyrie.
I don't know.
No Kyrie. No James Harden. Please.
I don't know. I think Wilds. I think the league's counting the game. I think the league's counting.
Go ahead.
Yeah, the league can charge it.
I checked with Adam Silver. They
Only
are
since
counting
the All-Star break,
They are
Nick.
counting that one. You know who made his triumphant return yesterday after a month full of DNPs? DeAndre Jordan, welcome back to the roster.
Yes.
Went 5 for 5, gave us 13 and 7. So is DeAndre in the lineup or not? Maybe that was the warm-up game to try to stop Embiid.
Oh, yeah.
Brandon, can I ask you a quick question?
No.
Wait, Brandon, I got a question for you. What
for
stat
Drummond
line?
and Embiid. That's for sure.
Could be. What stat line would Joel
What you
Embiid
got?
have to have tonight for you to be worried about the Nets? For you to say, okay, maybe there's an issue.
No, I'm already worried about Embiid. Embiid is the most dominant player on the planet, so he just needs to do what he's already doing. I mean, we're depleted over there in Brooklyn, so it's going to be tough for the Nets without Kyrie possibly and James Harden.
Nick, what was that?
Here's the thing, too,
You gotta
Nick.
shake.
It's going to be hard for him to make a statement with the Nets so injured, even if he plays huge.
All right. Let's talk some Boston Celtics now. Big night for Jason Tatum. Clutch 3 in the final 10 seconds to seal a win for Boston over the Blazers. 32-point night for Tatum. Celtics have won 6 of their last 7. Hey, Broussard, did you hear? The Celtics have won 6 of their last 7. You think they're showing signs of being an actual contender in the East now?
They are showing that they're what we thought they were before the season starts, about the 4th best team in the East. They're not as good as Philly, Milwaukee, and Brooklyn, but they could be a spoiler. Like, they could upset a Milwaukee or something in the second round. They can't win the conference, but they could upset somebody. Look, this team is talented. Now, again, I'm not picking the upset, but I'm saying if they get their act together, they are a little bit, they could be a dangerous spoiler, but no way, they can't win the East.
Okay, they are talented and they need to get their act together. They need to gel a little bit. There's a little bit something missing, a leadership spark. There seems to be something wrong in the Celtics' karmic universe. You know why? It's because you treated Isaiah Thomas poorly and shipped him off to Cleveland. Well, the Pelicans are not renewing Isaiah's 10-day contract. Isaiah's going to be a free agent. Danny Ainge, I know sort of the restraining order prevents you from watching the show sometimes. Jenna talks to you about you so much. But give Isaiah a shot. Bring Isaiah back to the squad. Let him be the gel. Let him be the spark that propels the Celtics this year.
Absolutely not. Chris, you're off. Come on, man. They played against the worst team. They beat the worst team in the NBA, the Rockets. Then they played the Hornets with no LaMelo. No Melo. Come on. And then the Knicks. The Knicks are the Knicks. The Timberwolves. The Timberwolves are the Timberwolves. And then the Nuggets. Nick, what did you say? You had Joker sitting in the rafters because he was so mad and disappointed. He didn't even really play. Yeah. So the only real team that they beat is the Blazers, and the Blazers are just okay. So, come on. This is not even a conversation.
How you disrespect the Nuggets like that?
Well, no,
Joker was sitting in the
Denver game was... the Denver game was weird. I think Brandon's point is that Boston was down 10 and then went on a 31-3 run to beat the Nuggets. And so it was kind of an outlier thing, and that's when Joker went to the rafters. I'll give him credit for that win, but none of it matters. Listen, I can't believe the participation trophies we're trying to hand out on Worcester Ave. Listen, Boston, window, closed. And congrats, you're 3 games above 500. Congrats, you're a second-round exit. Here's the problem for Boston. As much as Broussard loves and adores Jason Tatum, in the East, will Jason Tatum ever be better than Giannis? No. Will he ever be better than Joel Embiid? No. Will he any time in the next 4 years be better than Kevin Durant or James Harden? No. So your best guy is not as good as the best guy on the 3 teams you're competing with. That's the problem. So no, they're not contenders this year. They're not going to be contenders next year. They don't have assets, and if they did have assets, Danny Ainge wouldn't trade them because he hoards them like old troll dolls that he thinks he's going to be able to sell in 60 years and get rich off of. It's not going to happen. So no, I'm glad they're back above 500. Applause, participation trophy, and good win last night. But give me a break.
So annoying.
So mean.
So annoying to my Celtics. So mean. Talks and Paul George now 36 points in a win last night over the Pacers. Paul George has been on a tear lately, crediting it to a, quote, breakthrough in his mindset. Brandon, what do you make of PG's comments?
It's everything, and it's one of the reasons why, I'm riding high with this team. In the bubble, he came out and he talked about, hey, man, I've been working on some things with my therapist, and we talk about playoff P. We talk about his struggles throughout the year at times, throughout the years. Now, look, we keep saying that sport is 80% mental. So when are we going to double down on training our mind and making sure we are there mentally? We don't do it enough as players. So when you look at what Paul George is doing, it's phenomenal. So you got to respect it. Look, I had McCole here, the wide receiver for the Chiefs yesterday. And I'm looking at him like, buddy, you haven't once came in here and did any of the recovery stuff or did any of the mindset training that we do here. You are fast. You can catch the ball. Your routes are amazing. But if you want to go from good to great, you have to train here. So when you think about what Paul George has been going through the last year, it is actually inspiring, and I love it. And that's why you see the Clippers thriving this year.
Brandon, I love the fact that George is transparent and open about, his mentality. The problem is that, he talked about a breakthrough last year in the bubble. He talked about how he was depressed, but then he talked about how he overcame, and then we saw the same struggles from playoff P in the postseason. He's looking great. He was phenomenal last night without Kawhi. But we all want to see it in the playoffs. Him playing terrifically in the regular season is nothing new. We know that. He's got to get it done with consistency.